Welcome back to Timeout with J and G. I'm Jay over here, and it's G over there.
Yo, what is going on, everyone?
I know it's been about a week break, a little over a week break since our last episode. The NBA Finals ended. It's been dope. And actually, we're recording this on Wednesday, the 26th. Night one of the NBA draft is tonight. And that's exactly what we're here for. We're here for our first round mock draft. We're going to do a combined mock draft where we've already decided Levi was going to go first, then I take 2, then 3, and then 4. So we have to give our mock drafts that it's going to shake up our own drafts because one of us might have something different than the other one does. So it's definitely going to be interesting. It's going to be fun. This is the first year they're making it it's 2 days this year, right? The 26th and the 27th.
Yep, it's today and tomorrow.
Which I think is kind of stupid because I don't know how many people are going to tune in for tomorrow's second round. I mean, maybe this year being the first year, they'll probably get some decent numbers, but I don't know.
This was just more from a team's back end or like behind the scenes type deal to where the second round felt rushed and they couldn't make moves like they saw fit type deal. It was more to just alleviate kind of like the hurriness and the pressure of it, because once you get past the first round, it was kind of like bang, 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 bang.
I mean, I feel like it's going to be that way anyway, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. There were just some GMs and some people behind the scenes that were just like, we feel rushed, we can't get moves done like we want to because of this, it is what it is.
Yeah, I'm not exactly a big fan of it. I don't think this isn't a permanent thing. Like next year, they could suck this year. Next year, they just decide to go back to 1 day. So we'll see how that goes. Before we jump in for our mock drafts, anything you want to talk about?
Boston won the title. Excited about that.
Oh yeah, of course, yes, yep.
Shout out to University of Tennessee. They won the Men's College World Series for baseball. Shout out to them. Yeah, that's about it. I'm ready to get right into this.
Well, we didn't really talk about. Yeah, you're right. We haven't had an episode since they won. How do you feel? I mean, your Celtics won a championship.
I feel good. I'm hoping we can repeat next year, but with teams going on and also with the Knicks getting better.
Yes.
Don't know if the Celtics are the clear-cut favorite of the East anymore.
I still think they are. Yeah, the Mikal Bridges gets traded to the Knicks, where it's like 4 unprotected first-round picks and then like a swap, and there's a couple swaps and picks there. But that's crazy. Yeah, that's gonna be a big thing for the Knicks, man. They got 4 Villanova boys now, and that's like they need people that aren't injured. And in his entire career, Mikal Bridges is a guy that plays every game. So they brought in some. Yeah, you're right. Knock on wood there, but it's a great pickup for them. I think it definitely puts them in the upper echelon. Like they were the 2 seed this year. Now some of the teams like the Bucks and the 76ers had some injuries, so I don't know if they'll be the 2 seed again next year. But I definitely see them being a top 4 seed in the East. I think they're genuinely going to be a really good team. They'll have Randall back, and they'll have Mikal Bridges.
Oh yeah, 100%. I'm excited for this Knicks team next year. The 4 Villanova boys are back together.
I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, like I said, shout out to the Boston Celtics. They went banner number 18. Tatum went through a round of cringe recreating iconic moments.
He also made an iconic moment with when he was holding the trophy and the sun hit off of it.
Yeah, yep. So, shout out to them. Jaylen Brown gets Finals MVP. I don't think we care enough to make that a talking point. It is what it is. Brown just had a better series for the most part, so it's not really that surprising.
They also put a lot of stock into the defense he played.
Yeah, for sure, 100%. We'll see the Dallas Mavericks there again. There's rumors that they could get Cam Johnson now because the Nets are on that. The Nets announced they're going into a full rebuild, so Cam Johnson's probably going to get traded 100%. And I mean, Cam Johnson would be a cool pickup. It's just he makes a lot of money, and he only plays. I think I saw the stat that he's only played in 57% of the games he's been available for. So it's like he doesn't play as much as you would want for a guy that makes $90 million.
Yeah.
But he's a great shooter when he's on the court, so maybe the Dallas Mavericks would be like, hey, listen, our shooting struggled in the finals. Maybe if we can get in the guy that's a knockdown shooter, that'll be great for them.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, like I said, we don't want to waste too much time here, so we're gonna start our 2024 NBA official Timeout with J&G mock draft, and we decided Levi gets the number 1 overall pick, which is going to be the Atlanta Hawks. Go ahead.
For the first pick in the 2024 NBA draft, I have the Atlanta Hawks taking Zachary, or I'm gonna be honest, I can't really pronounce his name.
You got it.
Rizacher.
We talked about this right before we started the podcast. And he's still fun. From what I've heard it's Zachary Richichet or then Richishar. It's Richichet or Richishar is what I've been hearing.
I think he's going number 1.
I actually have him going 1 as well. There's that whole thing going on with Alex Sarr refusing to work out with the Hawks. So I don't think there's any way they draft him with that kind of thing. And they just need kind of a wing spot. You know what I mean? They have Jalen Johnson.
Yeah.
You have Jalen Johnson. You have oh my God, DeAndre Hunter. But it's like you still don't really know what you're doing with that. DeAndre Hunter could be a guy that gets moved. Obviously, they still need help at the center spot because I think they're going to move on from Clint Capella. Then you see what you got with Onyeka Okongwu. But yeah, no, I like the idea there of bringing in the wing like Zachary Richardson.
100%. Now you want to start the draft?
Oh, I completely forgot. Yeah, we're supposed to be doing this too.
Yeah.
I was so engrossed in talking about it that I didn't even do that. Yeah, Zachary Richardson from France, 6'9", 210, 19 years old. This one has him at the thing online has him at 6'8", 204. So, yeah, it is what it
enough.
is. Yeah, pretty much. So that means number 2 is me, and yeah, it's gonna be Alex Sarr. Alex Sarr I have going number 2 to the Washington Wizards. He pretty much already came out and said he wants to play for the Wizards, which might be the first time I've ever heard that in NBA history, if I'm being completely honest with you. But I think this is a franchise guy right here. This is like a guy you can trust to lock down the interior, defensively score. He can pick and pop some, he can kind of pick and pop. Like, I just think this is a guy you build your franchise around, and the Wizards are looking for that franchise guy more than the Hawks are. So I just think he's going to be a great fit.
Oh, 100%. I couldn't agree more with that. There's also some about Alex Sarr that I think he's just going to be really, really good. Give him like a year, and he's going to be up there with some of the better players, in my opinion.
I think it's going to be like, if you're Washington, you need to get him a good point guard. Like,
Yes.
It's just one of the best things for a young center is to get a good established point guard.
Yep. Yes, it is. All right, so with the third pick, I have the Rockets taking Stephon Castle, shooting guard out of UConn.
Ooh, okay. That's not what I had there. I had Reed Shepherd going. Give me your take on that.
They do need guard help, but I feel like they need more of a shooting guard more than a point guard help.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like if you bring in Reed Shepherd, I don't think he does enough off ball compared to Stephen Castle, who does. You know what I mean?
The thing about Stephon Castle is that he's just not a great shooter, and they already have Amin Thompson there. And it's like, now how many people you're gonna have at the court at the same time that can't really shoot the ball?
I mean, we've seen that happen before, and it's worked out with different teams. So,
Have we? I mean, I'm just not thinking of him off my mind, I guess. No, like I don't dislike the pick. I just think there might be a little bit better fit for Stephon Castle because he kind of already made the comment too that he wants to be a point guard for a team. So it's like I don't think he's going to take those minutes away from Fred VanVleet for at least another season or two. Where, you know what I mean? So like if he's happy taking the 2 spot, then you got to figure out what you're doing with Jalen Green as well. Then you still have Amin Thompson there who has the skills to maybe run point guard eventually too. So it's like, I think you kind of just put a guy into a weird spot because he doesn't really know where he's at right now between a 1 and a 2. But he's a good player, so sometimes that's all that matters.
I feel like he could be one of them combo guards where you can run him at the 2, you can run him at the 1, and he could do a little bit of both to try and alleviate some of the offensive.
Like I said, it's really going to depend on if he's able to develop a 3-point shot, on how well he's going to fit in with this team. Yeah, no, like I said, I had Reed Shepherd, but it's not. I can't say that's a bad pick. That means that it's 4 here. I will have the Spurs taking Reed Shepherd, the point guard out of Kentucky. Yeah, well, I don't know why I blanked there for a second. I think Reed Shepherd is one of the best guards in this draft. He's a good shooter. He's a high IQ player. And, I mean, that just sounds like a guy that fits in with the Spurs. I think he's a good ball handler. He's a good passer. Like, I think he would be a really good potential future point guard for Wemby. You know what I mean? There's still a chance they bring in a guy in free agency. But if you think you can get Reed Shepherd here at 4, then I think you're okay bringing in, like, a veteran point guard. Like, because the Trae Young talks have kind of stopped with the Spurs. So it's like maybe if you bring in, like a Tyus Jones or something like that, which is kind of funny because Trae Jones is already on a team. But like bring in like a mid-level steady point guard and then a young guy where if you maybe don't feel comfortable with Trae Jones at this point in time, I think that could be something too. But yeah, no, I just think Reed Shepherd's going to fit really, really well with Wemby there in San Antonio.
Oh, absolutely. And just having the generational player in Wemby is going to help Reed. And if they do bring in an older point guard because they don't really trust Jones, then that's one thing. You know, Jones and Shepard could play off of each other and help each other. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
100%.
Right, at pick number 5, I was thinking about Donovan Clegane. I was thinking about Rob Dillingham. But I'm going to go with Dalton Connect.
Dalton Connect.
Dalton Connect.
I just
The
go find
reason
him here.
is, the reason
Jeez.
is Detroit already has their point guard of the future in Cade Cunningham. You could argue the 2 spot, but they do have Jaden Ivey. And then at their big positions, they have Isaiah Stewart, Jalen Duren, and James Wiseman. I don't really see them bringing in Donovan
Clinging.
Clegane,
Clinging.
Clinging, and trying to run another center in that. And I don't really see them bringing in a young point guard when they already have Cunningham, and they do need 3-point shooting, and Dalton Connect can do that, and he can get up there, jumping wise. So
Yeah, I guess the only thing is, I guess if with your line of logic, I'm going to try to follow here is like, you kind of have your pieces. You're just looking for like a specialist, like a plug and play specialist, a guy that can shoot the ball well,
yep.
which makes sense. I just they're so bad, and there's like I'm not really convinced about a lot that Detroit has. I had them taking Matas Buzelis, the forward from the G League, because I just think he has a little bit more upside. Like I think Matas could be more of a like an all around player to lead a team than I think Dalton Connect can be. I think, like I said, I think Dalton Connect's a plug and play specialist, which is fine, like which is completely fine. I just think maybe that's the problem with Detroit. Maybe they're trying to bring in and develop so many guys. They need a guy they can just rely on to do what he has to do. So I think at 5 is a little maybe a little high, maybe not. Like I said, because they do have Cade, they do have Jaden Ivey. I don't think Isaiah Stewart's going to be there next season, if I'm being completely honest. But then they do have Wiseman, they do have Jalen Duren. So yeah, you know what? I can dig Dalton Connect. I can deal with that. That means
Alrighty.
next at 6 we have the Charlotte Hornets, which is actually where I had Dalton Connect going here, which is kind of throws me off a little bit. Now there's a couple different people I've been thinking here, right? You have I don't think they're taking the center. I think with Nick Richards, Mark Williams, I think they want to try to work that out. I don't think they want to bring in Donovan Clingan. Matas Buzelis could be that guy. He's definitely not the best shooter. So it's like, do you want to bring in a guy that's not the best shooter between Brandon Miller and LaMelo Ball? Then it's like, okay, what about Cody Williams? I think Cody Williams could be a good pick here for them. But it's like, I'm trying to figure out how well him and Brandon Miller can share the court. Devin Carter is also a guy I've been thinking about. He's compared to, look at this, good comparisons here. But I don't know, man. I think I'm gonna take Matas or Matt Buzelis, but I don't know why I have it at Matt here. It's Matas Buzelis. I'm gonna take him, but I think he's just gonna be a good wing. Like he can probably run the 2 to 3. Same thing Brandon Miller can do. Just a guy. He's not a great shooter right now, but I mean, you're playing with LaMelo Ball, so he can probably work with you on how to shoot. He can, like I said, play multiple positions. He's actually not that bad of a ball handler for his size and stuff like that. And yeah, I don't know. I think he could just. I think this is another one of those like connecting pieces for a Charlotte Hornet team.
Oh yeah, 100%. And he can. I feel like he's a player that you could pretty much put him at the 2, 3, or the 4, and he's gonna excel.
All right.
No matter what you do, he's gonna excel. Now,
Yeah.
pick number 7.
Mm-hmm.
I have the Portland Trail Blazers taking Donovan Clingan.
Klingen. There you go.
I'm bad with names. I feel like they take a center. DeAndre Ayton. He's DeAndre Ayton. One game he'll play a madman, like a madman. Next game, you'll be lucky to get anything out of him. Rob Williams. I love him, but he's just injury prone.
Yeah, 100%.
100% injury prone, and I don't know what they're gonna get out of Rob Williams next season. And so I feel like they're kind of planning for the future a little bit, and I think they take a good center at 7.
Actually, I had the same pick as well. I don't think DeAndre Ayton's there for much longer. I don't think he's their franchise center. I think he's just a guy they're trying to work up his value. They might trade him in a season or two. I don't think DeAndre Ayton's going to be there a long time. And Rob, like I said, yeah, Rob Williams, you at this point you can't trust him. He's going to be on the court most of the season. I had Donovan Clingan as well. I think that'll be a good I mean, they have a lot of guards right now. They have Anthony Simon, Scoot Henderson, Shaden Sharp. It's like they got to figure out the wings in the center position. You know what I mean? So I like the Clingan pick. That's what I had as well. Next at 8, the San Antonio Spurs are back. I had them taking Reed Shepherd earlier. Now I'm going to have them taking a wing in Cody Williams. The reason I have them taking Cody Williams is that, like I said, they have their point guard, their wing position. They're trying to figure out with Devin Vassell, Keldon Johnson, and stuff like that. But I'm gonna be honest. I'm not entirely sure. I'm not entirely sure Keldon Johnson's going to be on this team for a long time. You know what I mean? And I just think Cody Williams has really good defensive potential, which is something they're going to want to put around Wendy. Wendy's already a great defender. Put some more defenders around him. They could be one of the best defenses in the league here in a couple of seasons. And he just had a lot of upside. Like he was injured a good bit at Colorado, so it's like you're banking more on upside here. You know what I mean? Than you are anything. But also look at his older brother. His older brother's Jalen Williams from the Thunder. So it's like you see his brother, and it's like, oh, maybe he has similar potential. You know what I mean? So I think this is more potential just because of his injuries last season. But yeah, no, I've seen people even compare him to Jaden McDaniels defensively. So if you can get that as a Spurs, then I think you're pretty happy.
100%. And they need more pieces. They definitely need more pieces, especially at that small forward, power forward area. Because I mean, Jeremy Sohan is good, but how much better is he gonna get? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
and they just need young help is what they need.
100%. All right, number 9.
At number 9, this is something that a couple months ago I wouldn't do, but at this spot I am having the Grizzlies take Zach Edey.
Whoa! Okay.
I'm having Zach Edey go 9. The Grizzlies don't really have a interior presence. They have Jaren Jackson Jr., but they don't really have that center. You know what I mean? And I feel like you bring in a guy like Zach Edey, 7'4". He's going to be your rim protector for the next I don't know how many years. You have Jaren Jackson Jr., who is, I believe, a depoy.
Yeah.
You can guard inside, outside. They need a center that can rebound and can score when needed, and that's Zach Edey in a nutshell.
I mean, hey, maybe I think it's a little early for Zach Edey, but you know what? Fit-wise, maybe it's just what it is. Maybe it's just his best fit available, because it's like the other guys I was thinking is like maybe Devin Carter, because then at that point I'm like maybe you're looking to remove Marcus Smart again and bring in a guy like Devin Carter. But like, hey, maybe, you know what? I don't hate it as much as when you first originally said it. I think, like I said, fit-wise, he could come in and fill a need that they need and allow Jaren to go back to the 4, where I think he's just better at. And, you know what? Yeah, okay.
Like I said, if you would have said I did this pick a month ago, I wouldn't believe you. But it just, the fit and the timing works.
Yeah. Okay, so next we have the Utah Jazz at 10, and I am taking Devin Carter. I know they already got a couple guards. You have obviously Keontae George last year. You have the guy from the Cavs that traded there 2 seasons ago. Why am I blanking on his name? That's gonna piss me off because he was he was on the Alabama team that played the 3v5. His name is right there too, and I'm just not gonna think of it.
I can't think of it either.
Colin Sexton.
We go.
Colin Sexton, you have Colin Sexton, you have Keontae George, like you're trying to figure that out. I don't think Colin Sexton's a long-term option, and I think I think Devin Carter could probably play the 2 next to Keontae George. Not entirely sure. He was fantastic shooting-wise. At the Combine, he shot insanely well. He's a pretty good defender as well. So it's like, I think, like I said, you might have a small backcourt in Keontae George and Devin Carter, but I think Devin Carter can be enough defensively and shooting that it doesn't matter as much. Plus, the Jazz are kind of in a spot where they're just like, outside of Lauri Markkanen, I don't think they're really set in stone. Like, Lauri Markkanen and then, like, what you got from Keontae George as a rookie, I don't think they're set in stone with much else. So it's like, keep bringing in these high-potential guys and find out what sticks.
Oh, 100%. And, yeah, I mean, they're a young team. They don't have a lot going for them. So, I mean, bring in someone to give them a shot and see what they can do.
Yeah, I 100% agree. 11, Chicago Bulls.
At 11... the Chicago Bulls, it seems like Lonzo won't be playing for the Bulls. If he does play in the league again, it's going to be somewhere else. They have Cody White, not Kobe, Cody White.
It's Kobe. It's Kobe White.
Kobe. It's been a long day. Kobe White. They just traded for Josh Giddey. They have Zach LaVine, but I don't think they have that true backup point guard.
Io.
Oh, that's right. But
The pick is sitting right there in front of you, and I hope you don't take the other guy.
I'm taking Rob Dillingham.
Oh. Wow, I dislike that pick. Okay, go ahead.
I think Rob Dillingham can shoot the three, he can rebound, he can pass, he basically does everything that you would want. You know what I mean? I just think for this Bulls team, they don't have a lot going for them. I think they just take young player available.
I just don't like the fit on the team at all. Like it's now you have 4 guards that you're trying to kind of get minutes to. I just don't like the fit. I like Rob Dillingham as a player. It's nothing with him as a player. I just don't like the fit on the Bulls at all. I would have taken a guy like Saloon, like more of a wing. Yeah, I just think the last thing they need right now is another guard. But hey, this is a mock draft. You know, it's how the board's shooken up. A player that I would have sent to him went earlier than I thought he was going to go. So it's like, hey, you got to just draft who's available. And at this point, Rob Dillingham probably is the best player available. And like I if you're going through the logic of best player available, then yeah, Rob Dillingham. I just don't like the fit. Like I just don't know if I like the fit on a team. But
man, that's understandable.
Hey, it is what it is, right? It is what it is. But now I'll have the OKC Thunder at what are we at, 12? I don't even know. Yeah, 12. I'll just have them taking Saloon. So I know it's kind of a struggle, but it gives them a bigger wing, a guy that, you know, I guess they kind of won it with Gordon Hayward when they traded for him last season. That just didn't really work out. He's one of the youngest players. I think he just turned 19, or he's turning 19 before the season starts. He's got size. He can shoot kind of well. So it's like, I don't know. I just think he's one of those guys that can kind of do everything, but he's not going to be pressured to play a ton right away because the Thunder are such a good deep team.
Oh yeah, 100%. It's more of kind of like a progression thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the team is already deep. The team already has been places. They're probably going to make it to the Western Conference Finals next year with another year under their belt. It's just about getting young guys in to try and develop them.
All right. Next. Here you go.
With pick 13. Tough one, but I'm going to have them take Justin Edwards, small forward out of Kentucky.
Where the hell is he even at? You said Justin Edwards?
Yeah.
Where is he even at on here?
Then I might be taking someone else.
Oh, there he is.
There
Damn,
he is.
they got him down here. Okay, why Justin Edwards?
They need wing help. Because just looking at the lineup, yeah, you have Kevin Huerter, you have Monk, you have Fox, you have Mitchell, but aside from Harrison Barnes, you don't really have anyone to slide into the backup 3 spot. You know what I mean? And it alleviates a little bit of pressure from like an old man like a Harrison Barnes.
I'm looking through a mock draft right here. He's not even in the first round. He's in the 42nd pick. I think you might have reached insanely high there.
It might have been a mess up on my part then.
Yeah, I think you reached, which would kind of fit the Kings' MO, honestly.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of people are going to hear that and be like, "Whoa." Yeah, I think there was much better players available.
With the mock draft I'm using, they had him kind of high. I don't know. It could just be this. I don't know. I don't know.
Hey, feel confident in your pick, man.
Anything can happen.
Yeah, feel confident in your pick. It's ain't nothing about it. Ain't nothing about it. So now here's a different thing. I wouldn't mind like a Jacoby Walter, right, or like a Jared McCain. But like Topic is here, but he has the ACL injury now, so it's like I don't think teams are going to do that, and I don't think the Trailblazers want another point guard. So I'm thinking Ron Holland. I'm thinking Ron Holland. This might be a little like I remember before like last season he was like the surefire number one overall pick, and now he's kind of just fallen down quite a good ways here. But you know what? I still like Ron Holland. He's a pretty good defender. His shooting isn't great, but again, the Trailblazers are kind of in the spot where I think they just need to take best player available as well. And maybe this isn't best player available, but I think this is better. Like I think this is a good player with more of a fit on the team, a good rangy wing defender kind of thing.
Yeah, and so I mean, he's only 18 years old, so he's got a lot of time to progress.
And he's a guy that doesn't really like in the G League. He kind of had some turnover problems, but he's not going to have the ball in his hands that much in Portland. So it's like you don't really have to worry about that. So I think you kind of mask some of his issues because he just won't have the ball in his hand that much.
100%. Alrighty, the Miami Heat. Miami Heat. Bam Adebayo just signed an extension, or he's going to.
He did.
Shout out to him getting the bag. This is tough because the team is not great, but it's not bad.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard to say take best player available. But I think they go and they get kind of like their backup center, Yves Masai. I think that's how you say his name, out of Baylor.
Oh, okay.
Then they go take a center to back up Bam. And I know sometimes Bam can run the 4 if you want him to, but I feel like they need a good backup center so they can give Bam a break when he needs it.
Drafting a backup at 15 is definitely interesting.
And it's also the progression because how old is Bam?
He's in his like mid-20s, maybe. Like I would have took Topic here, Nikola Topic, to try to find him a point guard. But I know he might not play the beginning of the season. He's got his ACL, but it's like I think they can deal with that. Interesting. Hey, that's what you pick. Okay.
Yeah. And I know Bam's been working on his mid-range and extending his game a little bit, so there could be a scenario where they put him at the 4 in certain lineups and then run Yves at the 5.
Okay. Hey, you know what? That's fair. I can't be mad at that. Next, at 16, I have the Philadelphia 76ers taking Jacoby Walter, the guard out of Baylor as well, also a Baylor player. I think he's pretty good. He's 6'5", so next to a guy like Tyrese Maxey, who's on the shorter side, it'd be a little bit better to have a bigger 2, or he's probably kind of like a normal size 2. He can shoot pretty well. He's actually a pretty damn good shooter, which is something that the 76ers team is going to need because we don't really know what's going to go on with their free agency. It seems like it's not a done deal, but it seems like more than likely Paul George is going to end up in Golden State, not in Philadelphia. So they probably just aren't going to get that kind of thing. And again, playing like you saw the progression with Tyrese Maxey of playing behind James Harden and playing with Joel Embiid. And maybe now Tyrese Maxey can kind of be that guy for Jacoby Walter, and then still having Embiid where he doesn't come in with a lot of pressure on him to do his thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay. Yeah. That's who I have at 16 then.
Yeah, and it gives Maxey more chance with the ball. The playmate gives him another good guard out there, and then like you said about Embiid. At 17, I have the Lakers taking Jared McCain.
Okay.
Jared McCain. I'm debating here. He's
taking Jared McCain.
I'm taking Jared McCain. I was gonna say Nikola Topic could go here.
Mm-hmm.
Because we don't know what's going on with Russell. I know you said something about earlier when we were talking about Reeves maybe slotting in at the 1 more often.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Jared McCain goes here at 17.
Yeah, he's a really good shooter, which is something the Lakers need badly. They need shooting badly. Mm-hmm. He's maybe not he's kind of a smaller guy, but I don't know. Like it's just I think the Lakers need any type of shooting they can. And again, with the spot, we don't really know what's going on with D'Lo, and they're thinking about having Reeves run more ball handling. It's like you can bring in a guy to. I don't think they're gonna make him like a full-time point guard with with Austin Reeves, and I don't even know if I'm not sure if Jared McCain's ever going to hit to that spot either. But I think with LeBron, you still have a ball handler there. And then between Reeves and McCain, they could probably take some other duties plus whoever they bring in. So it's like, no, I do like the Jared McCain pick. I would be pretty happy with that at 17. At 18, we have the Orlando Magic.
Orlando Magic.
I have them taking Nikola Topic. Now, I understand fully that they drafted Anthony Black last season. But Nikola Topic is a great player, right? And
Right.
like obviously, and I understand he has his issues with the ACL. It was like partially torn. I don't think it was like fully torn. So, yeah. But I'm pretty sure also his dad works for the Magic in some capacity. If I'm not mistaken, I think his dad is some type of international scout for them. And honestly, for most of the season, Nikola Topic was a projected top 5 pick. So if you can get him at 18 because of an injury, I think you have an insane steal. This is a 6'6" guard that can handle the ball. It's like you can kind of work out between, because I think Cole Anthony and I think Markelle Fultz are going to find their way out of there. And you kind of have like a backcourt between Anthony Black, Nikola Topic, and Jalen Suggs. You can kind of figure that out. I think they have something going on there.
Oh, absolutely. This is a steal.
Mm-hmm.
Even though he did have the ACL injury, this is kind of a steal getting him at 18.
100%. Yeah. It's like maybe it's like the Cam Whitmore thing with last year when he fell to 20.
It might be. It might be. At 19, I have the Raptors. Ooh. This is. This is tough, but I think they go Carlton Carrington out of Pittsburgh.
Okay.
I think they bring in a point guard because they do have Emmanuel Quickley. They do have Bruce Brown. You know, they have a couple pieces, but I don't think they have like that point guard that they
Right.
want or need. And I feel like if you can get Carlton Carrington in here and get him up to speed, I feel like he could be the starting point guard for the Raptors by midway of the year.
Okay. I mean, the only thing about Carrington that kind of scares me is that like he was kind of projected to be a late round pick most of the season. Then he had a good combine that kind of upped his stock. And whenever I see that, it's always a little like weird because it's like on the court you weren't able to find your rhythm as well, but then in the drills by yourself you were able to do well. So it's like I always kind of scares me. Or it's like yeah you can. It's like in football. Everybody looks good in shorts, but it's when you put the shoulder pads on is when you really find out who's good. And I kind of feel that way about the NBA. It's like everybody looks good in their shooting drills, but it's when you're on the court with defenders on you where you kind of find out. And we'll see here. The thing I noticed the most about, I don't know a lot about Carlton Carrington. I think his nickname's Bub, but like I do know from a little bit I know about him. Sometimes his shot selection's a little rough. He's kind of like a wild shot taker. But a team like the Raptors they're not competing anytime in the next year or two. So it's like you can maybe get through those growing pains with him of just kind of fine-tuning his shot selection.
Oh, 100%. And that's usually with young players that didn't come from big-name schools. They usually kind of have a little bit of that problem because they're the man, so they got to take most of the shots. You know what I mean?
100%. Cleveland Cavaliers. This is me.
Yep.
This might be a little bit of a crazy one, right? And I don't even know if this guy's going to be in here because of... This guy might not be in here because of what was going on with him. There he is. I'm taking Terrence Shannon at 20 for the Cleveland Cavaliers. He was found not guilty. He was found not guilty with all of his stuff that went on this year. The reason I say this is because, one, we aren't completely sure what's going on with Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland. He's a lefty guard. He can pretty much score at all 3 levels. He can just bring in a score, even if as he just comes off and kind of replaces what you get from Karis LeVert, just a guy that can come score off the bench. Because I don't know if 6'6", you're going to want him running your full-time 3. But then again, you have Evan Mobley and Jared Allen to 4 and 5, so it's like, I don't know. But then you already have 2 small guards in the backcourt, so I don't know if adding like a smaller small forward is a good idea. But even like I said, if he takes those Karis LeVert minutes and just comes off as a flamethrower off the bench, I think that's a good spot for him.
100%. And watching March Madness, him and Illinois were on a tear.
Yeah.
For a little bit there. So shout out to him and Hopefully he does good on whatever team ends up getting him, whether he's
100%.
drafted or signed as a undrafted free agent.
Yeah.
At 21, I have the Pelicans taking Kyle Filipowski
Ooh.
because we
Okay.
don't know what's going to be going on with Valanciunas, if he's going to resign or if he's going to go elsewhere in free agency.
Yeah.
And I feel that you bring in a young guy like Filipowski, and I believe, let me just look at the stats. Yes, he shot the three a little bit at Duke.
Mhm.
He did shoot the three ball at Duke, and it got better. I think he was about 35% last year, his last year at Duke. So, I mean, you get a little bit of a range extender there for when Zion is in there. You know what I mean? Zion is getting his shot. I
Yeah.
just like the fit here
Yeah.
for Filipowski.
Yeah, no, I'm not upset with that either. I think that's actually pretty solid. Like I said, especially if you lose Valanciunas, you bring in a guy that can stretch the floor for Zion. And yeah, no, I do like that pick. I'm down with that one. That means next at 22 we have the Phoenix Suns. Now, I I don't know. There's a couple different things here. I don't think Khalil Ware would be a bad pick here because they need help at the 5 spot. You know what I mean? And he's kind of been able to show that he can possibly shoot maybe a little bit. The only thing is that, like, Ware's a guy that maybe needs a couple years before he's really a finished product. Well, which obviously, like, is most prospects. But it's like the Suns are kind of in this win now mode with Devin Booker, Bradley Beal, and Kevin Durant. So maybe they don't want to bring in a guy that's like, you know what I mean? Bring in a guy that I don't know. I know he's also had his questions about his motor, but I feel like there's been a few centers in the league that we've talked about their motors coming into the coming into the NBA, and then it just ended up never being a problem. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with it. I think that they need help down to 5. A guy that maybe even steps in at the 4 a little bit just to stretch the floor. If they do have Nurkic still there, yeah, no, I'm taking Khalil Ware, and I feel pretty confident about it.
Alrighty, that's not a bad pick. Not a bad pick at all. And at 23, I have the Bucks.
Yes, you do.
And I have the Bucks taking Isaiah Collier out of
Yeah.
USC. I love the pick. You bring in a young point guard that can learn from Damian. He can score, he can pass. I believe he got about a steal and a half at USC, so he can defend. I just feel like this is kind of like the guy that you want to give the reins to once Lillard either retires or decides to go. And being behind Damian Lillard is going to help him even more.
100%. Yeah, they just the Bucks need help anywhere at this point in time. You like I said, yeah, USC wasn't great for him last year, but I think I don't know. I don't think I don't like when maybe a down year at college just completely flips people's opinions about a player. Wasn't a greatly spaced USC team. There wasn't a lot of, like, you know what I mean. There's not a lot of shooting on that USC team, so it kind of made it kind of mucky. No, I do like the Isaiah Collier pick. That's exactly why I had them taking as well. Now we both get a Knicks pick here. I take 24, which I kind of want to clear where to go there, but it didn't really work out. They just traded for Mikal Bridges. You're probably going to run a lineup of Jalen Brunson, if they can bring back. I think they're going to bring back OG. So, like, Jalen Brunson, OG, Josh Hart. Jalen Brunson, OG, Mikal, Randall, and then either Mitch Robinson or Isaiah Hartenstein, if they can bring him possibly back. And then you have a bench of Dante, Josh Hart, Miles McBride, and then maybe the other one, Mitch Robinson. But I'm just going to... I'm going to say they maybe don't bring back Isaiah Hartenstein because they can't afford it. And I'm going to have them taking Deron Holmes, a guy that can kind of play a hybrid 4-5 as like a backup for them. That's... Yeah. Yeah, I think... Yeah, he didn't shoot a lot, but he shot 39% from 3 at college. Like I said, not a lot of attempts, but he was able to hit some and be able to, kind of play. He's been getting comparisons to Naz Reid. So that's already,
Ooh.
yeah, it's already kind of crazy.
A little spicy.
Yeah, he averaged 20 points, 8.5 rebounds, shot 39% from 3 in a limited perimeter role with Dayton. I just think he'd be a guy that can come in and just, like I said, hit some open shots, play good inside defense for the Knicks when Mitchell Robinson's off the court, or maybe Isaiah Hartenstein's, depending if they can get him back.
100%. And now for my next pick at 25, I have them taking Tristan da Silva. Another big for Colorado, from Colorado, But his senior year, he shot practically 40% from three.
Yeah.
So he can space the floor. You could put him at the three if you need to. I with what the with what the Knicks have been doing, I just feel like they need to bring in a piece that can contribute right away.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I feel like that is Tristan De Silva.
Yeah, no, I mean, just bringing in the guy that can shoot the ball is always going to be a big thing,
Yeah.
especially for the Knicks. The Knicks just need like healthy bodies that can shoot the ball.
Pretty much.
And bringing in a guy like Deron Holmes and Tristan De Silva kind of gives them damn near like a backup front court that is going to be pretty solid and can stretch the floor. So yeah, no, I think the Knicks walk out of this pretty damn happy.
And if they do take both of them, you could practically run both of them at the 3 to 5 as a combined group. You know what I mean?
That's fair. It's fair. Washington Wizards at 26. Now you had them taking Alex Sarr. So, I think they're probably looking for a point guard, but there's not really anybody here that I feel comfortable. Like, there's not really a point guard here that I think they take comfortably here. Of course, you never know. You never know. I think. Is it? I don't know. Do I want to take Kyson George? Do I?
Be confident in your pick, buddy. If you think so, go for it.
Then they maybe bring in Jalen Tyson. Like I don't think Jalen Tyson. I think Jalen Tyson can be more of a 2-3 than a 3-4. If I'm being completely honest with you, because he was a guard at Cal, so I don't know why they have him as a 3-4 in here right now. Yeah, no, I think he's a scoring guard that has like an ability, a pick and roll. He can kind of run the pick and roll as a ball handler. So like I think with the Wizards, they're just kind of throwing things at the wall. You could maybe like just say for some reason Tyus Jones is back next year. I guess they could run like Tyus Jones. I'm gonna assume they're trading Kuzma. Tyus Jones, Jalen Tyson, Denny. No. Tyus Jones, Jalen Tyson, Bilal Coulibaly, Denny, Alex Sarr.
Ooh, I like that.
That's a young lineup that has a lot of potential.
It does.
I talked myself into Jalen Tyson. Like I said, you have Tyus Jones, and you got Jalen Tyson, who can also be kind of like a backup ball handler in a pick and roll situation with Alex Sarr, with Denny with a pick and pop. I'm taking Jalen Tyson.
That Washington team also just needs youth.
Yeah, they just need good players.
And bring in the new, yeah. With the 27th pick, I have the Minnesota Timberwolves. See, this is interesting.
Bring in the hometown guy, or not hometown, but where he went to college.
This is tough. I feel like you're kind of hinting at it right now.
I didn't. Wait, what? I didn't say anything.
No, I thought you switched something on the screen.
I was looking to see the guy. I was trying to figure out what position they have him listed at here. Okay.
You can just leave it shooting guard because I have them taking Kyson George.
Kyson George. Okay.
Kyson George.
How do you feel about that?
I feel a 6'9" shooting guard. He can play the 3. They just need people to come in and give them valuable minutes at this point because their starting 5 is already really good. They have a couple pieces off the bench like Naz Reid. I just feel like they need pieces off the bench to help them. You know what I mean?
I'm not gonna sit here. I don't know a lot about Kyson George. I did not watch much Miami, so I don't want to talk about shit I don't know. If I'm just being completely honest with you. But yeah, all right. Next we have 28, which is going to be the Denver Nuggets. I have them taking Tyler Smith. He's a stretch guy that I think would fit pretty comfortably behind Jokic and behind Aaron Gordon. I think so. Like I said, 6'11", he can shoot the 3 ball well. Like I said, I don't know much about this guy in the G League because I didn't watch a lot of the G League, but from what I've been seeing, I think he'd be able to kind of come in and because the bench, Denver's bench is pretty rough. So bringing in the guy that can kind of play the backup four, maybe soak up some 5 minutes and can stretch the floor. Yeah, I think they like that.
Oh, 100%. They just need someone to be able to kind of pull Jokic out with and not lose a whole lot, like spacing wise.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I feel like that would be a really, really good pick.
All right, 29, Utah, baby.
The Utah Jazz. This is tough.
Remember, we had them taking Devin Carter, like a 2-1.
I just remembered that on the, and that kind of throws me off a little bit. But they already have big men.
Yeah.
They have Markkanen. They have Kessler.
Kessler wasn't as
John
great last
Collins.
year as he was his rookie year, and I think John Collins could be moved very soon.
Yeah.
I think obviously Markkanen, but I don't even know how sold they are on Walker Kessler himself. So
I think they take.
do it.
I mean, Bobby or Bobby Clintman.
There you go. I was like, I think that's the right pick. I do think that's the right pick.
Just trying to get his name. That was just. I'm bad with names, everyone. All right.
Right. Yeah.
Leave me
Okay.
alone.
Yeah. Okay.
I am.
No. Yeah. I don't mind it. I think like he's a guy that can also shoot the basketball. He's like a good pick and pop kind of guy. Really, from what people were saying, like Australia, he really like kind of grew into his body and became way more physical. Like I said, I don't think John Collins is going to be there much, so I don't think he's going to start anytime soon. But kind of having like a bruiser floor spacer that can come on the floor when Markkanen walks off or when Walker Kessler comes off.
100%.
I feel like I've heard that 30 times now. And you know what?
I just agree with you so much.
The Boston Celtics at pick 30.
Bronny James.
Yeah, right. I was kind of thinking a center, but there's not really anybody here that I love. Right? There's not any centers here
Right.
that I love for them. I mean, maybe they bring in just like a shooter. Maybe they just bring in a shooter. It's kind of tough.
It is. I mean, they just came off of a championship. They kind of have their lineup set to what they want.
Yeah. I don't know. This is tough. I'm actually kind of struggling here. Do I just take Kevin? Do I just take Kevin? I know he's kind of has injuries. He didn't do any of the combine or the pre-draft stuff, but I'm pretty sure he said that there's no structural damage, so he should be pretty good. And like I said, he's a senior. He's an older guard coming in, but I think he's a guy that can come in and score really, really well for you guys. Because honestly, off the bench, you guys don't really have any guys that can kind of go in there and just get their own bucket.
Yeah, I mean, it just depends on what goes on with Porzingis for the most part. But other than like that, if they start Porzingis, then yeah, you're right. I mean, there's Pritchard, but he relies off of a lot of help.
Yeah. Like,
from
I just
pick and
think
rolls.
if you get Kevin McCullough to be healthy, he's a guy that can just come in the second unit and be able to create his own shot, which I think, like I said, is one of the few things that the Celtics struggle with was bench scoring.
Yeah, a lot of the points came off of just their starters scoring like 15 points at least each.
Yeah.
So getting some bench scoring would go a long way.
And like I said, he could play off. He's 6'7". He can play the 2, the 3. He can be on the court with Peyton Pritchard, with Al Horford. You know what I mean? And be just fine. And honestly, he could be on the court with Brown and Tatum and be fine. You know what I mean? Be on the court with Derek White. Be on the court with Drew Holiday. He could be on the court with them too, and be fine. So I just think he's a good plug and play player for you guys right away.
Yeah, I mean,
Barring injury, of course.
barring injury and coming off of a championship, I feel like they would just need someone that I don't think they need that 20-year-old that they gotta try and kind of teach up or get up to speed. They kind of want the guy that can just come in and just be good right away, or help
Yeah.
them out and just fill a role right away.
Well, that'll wrap up the 2024 Timeout with J&G NBA mock draft. It starts in what, like 2 hours, something like that, from when we're recording right now.
Yep, starts at 8.
So we'll go through here. We had number 1, the Hawks taking Zachary Ricochet. I don't know. We'll figure that out. Wizards at 2 taking Alex Sarr. The Rockets at 3 taking Stefan Castle. The Spurs at 4 taking Reed Shepherd. The Pistons at 5 taking Dalton Connect. The Hornets at 6 taking Matas Buzelis. Trailblazers at 7 taking Donovan Clingan. Spurs at 8 taking Cody Williams. Grizzlies at 9 taking Zach Edey. Jazz at 10 taking Devin Carter. Bulls at 11 taking Rob Dillingham. The Thunder at 12 taking Salon. Struggle with that. Look at that overall. The Kings at 13 taking Justin Edwards. They might have pulled a Kings there, but the Trailblazers at 14 taking Ron Holland. The Heat at 5 taking Mystery. 76ers at 16 taking Jacoby Walter. 17 the Lakers take Jared McCain. 18 the Magic take Nikola Topic. Raptors at 19 take Carlton Carrington. Cavaliers at 20 take Terrence Shannon. The Pelicans at 21 take Kyle Filipowski. Suns at 22 take Khalil Ware. The Bucks at 23 take Isaiah Collier. The Knicks at 24 take Day'Ron Holmes, and then back it up with Tristan Da Silva. The Wizards at 26 take Jalen Tyson. Timberwolves at 27 take Kyson George. And then the Nuggets at 28 take Tyler Smith. The Jazz at 29 take Bobby Klintman. And we finish up with the Celtics at 30 taking Kevin McCullough. Yeah.
Solid draft.
There's a couple picks in here that are a
little reaching.
Sorry. Hey, you never know what could happen in the draft.
You never know what could happen.
Yeah. So down in the comment section below, let us know, rank our draft, our mock draft 1 to 10. Of course, it's before the draft, so don't come back after the draft and be like, oh, this was so wrong. No, this is before the draft. Think what you, again, let us know some ones that you disagree with or think, who should go where. What else you got?
Prediction? Who do you think is going to be the biggest mover in the draft? Like, what team do you think is going to make the biggest trade? Or do you think we won't have that this year?
This is one I've heard. This is a rumor I've heard that I wouldn't be upset with. The Rockets at 3. Trade back with the Grizzlies at 9.
Okay.
The Rockets send 3. The Grizzlies send 9 and Marcus Smart.
Ooh. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. That's a little spicy. I like it.
Yeah. So you bring in, if you're the Rockets, you bring in just a defensive guy that doesn't need the ball in his hands a lot and can run like some spot minutes at point guard.
Yeah. Marcus Smart can run point guard when needed. Not a bad trade.
Hell yeah, I appreciate it.
I like it.
So is there anything else you want to hit on before we get up out of here?
Not really.
Well, I think, like I said, I think we had a good draft. There might have been a couple that people might disagree with, and that's okay. That's okay. We're making a mock draft for fun. Making it for fun. Thank you guys for watching. Please go check out my YouTube channel. It's not Time Out. That's this channel. It is Cloud 2K. I do still Madden, still 2K. I just uploaded a police simulator video, and people seem to really be enjoying that. So go check that out. And Levi, do you want to put yours out or?
Nah, not really.
Okay, so check out my YouTube channel.
Everyone, just stay frosty.
We'll get there. Any closing remarks?
Go Boston.
Yeah. All right. We'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace.